Welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to share today's analysis with you because we're taking a wildly fascinating, deeply esoteric true story, one where you honestly can't make this stuff up, and decoding it. We're looking at the real-life experience of Javein Scarwin. Now, on the surface, this is a story about confronting an internet troll in a Baltimore church. But as we unpack the source texts, you're going to see how this physical encounter is actually a brilliant, perfect gateway into the ancient mechanics of energy defense, the Scarcode spectrum, and the actual clinical breakdown of what history calls the evil eye.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, the church incident. Second, meet the internet bedbug. Third, mechanics of the evil eye. Fourth, microfractures and vulnerability. And finally, protocols for energy defense. Let's dive right in.
Section 1, the church incident.
Let's set the scene and trace exactly what happened on April 29, 2026. At 12 o'clock, Javein is at the First Mount Calvary Baptist Church at 1142 Infestation Ave in Baltimore. He's there getting his blood pressure checked because for the last 7 days, his chest has been incredibly tight. The text revealed the stress is from being endlessly harassed and defamed online by what he calls a kool-aid-minded internet troll. He also calls her an internet bedbug. Basically, an old ex-friend who secretly hated on him, gossiped, but pretended to be a pal until he cut her off. So while Javein is waiting in the church, he politely stands up to let an older lady with a walker sit down. The nurse checking his vitals praises his manners, telling him she can tell his mother raised him right, and she was absolutely correct. But moments later, that exact ex-friend walks into the room. She's smiling at the greeter at the desk, but the second she sees Javein, the smile drops. She marches straight toward him and literally gives him the middle finger, right there inside the church.
Now, right before this wild confrontation, the nurses checked his vitals. His blood pressure was sitting remarkably low at 81/56, with a pulse of 81. The nurse asked the doctor next to her, and they both confirmed he was, medically speaking, perfectly fine. But looking at this through an esoteric lens, that's where it gets absolutely fascinating. The text explained that this wasn't a sign of physical weakness, not at all. It was actually his body lowering its energetic tide to keep from overflowing under extreme stress. It's a profound biological response to carrying a heavy, dissonant weight that actually belongs to someone else.
So, as this troll gets closer, Javein starts hearing all her vicious online insults echoing in his head. Insults about his family, his mother, his late brother, rest in peace, his son, his house, and even the creativity God gifted him. But he didn't fight back. He didn't even argue. Instead, he just imagined he was surrounded by a glowing golden light, and it was like her presence just faded away. He didn't match her frequency, so she had nothing to latch onto. After that, he patiently sat down to a church lunch. And man, it was a good lunch. Fried chicken, mac and cheese, string beans, rice, and a dinner roll. Now here's the kicker. Javein doesn't even eat chicken. When they were friends, he usually gave that kind of food to her. But not today. As he notes in the source text, today and every day after this, she will just have to eat every word she ever said about him until she changes.
Section 2, meet the internet bedbug.
The source material gives us this highly poetic, kind of jarring lyric that perfectly captures the whole phenomenon. I got bedbugs, and they all look just like you. It forces us to completely shift our perspective. We aren't talking about physical household pests here. We're talking about energetic parasites. It's that jarring realization that the bugs draining your energy are actually literal manifestations of a former friend's projected jealousy and hate. Think about it like this. Physical bedbugs hide in your mattress, wait until you rest, and then feed, leaving red dots on your skin and stains on your sheets. Energetic bedbugs operate the exact same way, just on a different frequency. These internet trolls wait for your moments of vulnerability to strike. What just looks like a bitter ex-friend leaving hateful comments is actually a semi-sentient energetic parasite actively trying to access your field. They are siphoning your personal energy, which is exactly what caused Javein's physical symptoms, like that 7-day chest tightness.
Section 3, mechanics of the evil eye.
So how does this actually work clinically? Every energetic attack follows a very specific 3-step evolution. It starts with step 1, the catalyst. This is the raw source material, intense negative emotions like jealousy or envy. With repeated focus, we move to step 2. These emotions condense into proto-thought forms, basically highly charged packets of energy. Finally, step 3, these packets evolve into semi-sentient constructs. I love how the ancient Oxay elders describe these. They call them notes that forgot their mother. They are literally dissonant vibrations that have deliberately mistuned themselves from the original harmonic chord of creation, which the texts call the mother field or womb bay.
Now, what happens when this hateful energy becomes collective?
say multiple internet trolls or detractors gang up on you. It forms what's known as a hive thought form. The elders call this an echo of the silent rift. This is a big deal because it's no longer just a bad mood. It becomes a collective force that can literally stack the odds against you in the physical world. It generates false narrative fields, making people mistrust you for no rational reason, and actively collapses beneficial probability waves in your everyday life.
Section 4. Microfractures and vulnerability.
But how do they actually get in? The sources refer to this process as the seeking of the cracked note. These negative projections, these bedbugs, they don't just attack randomly. They need a doorway. They actively seek out the psychological microfractures we all carry around. For example, if you have unresolved trauma, the texts describe it as a loosened string in your personal vibration. Shame acts like a muted chamber, and doubt creates a broken rhythm. These dissonant constructs use your own internal misalignments to lock on and siphon your energy.
If you take away only one thing from today's explainer, make it this quote: "You are not in danger, but you are carrying weight that is not yours." Listen, experiencing fatigue, chest tightness, or sudden mood drops doesn't mean you are permanently broken, and it certainly doesn't mean you are in immediate danger. As the texts reassure us, it simply means you are temporarily holding on to a dissonant frequency. It's just a sign, a profound sign to acknowledge the weight, realize it absolutely does not belong to you, and prepare to let it go.
Section 5. Protocols for energy defense. So, let's talk defense. Grounding yourself can absolutely begin with physical tools, and the text outline a really fascinating mineralogical defense strategy. Black tourmaline is used to ground and neutralize negative energy, usually worn right over the solar plexus. Then you have selenite, which is used to clear your energetic field and retune your personal frequency. For maximum environmental protection, especially when you're sleeping and most vulnerable to these bed bugs, the sources recommend arranging these minerals in a tetrahedral geometrical pattern right around your bed.
But physical tools are only half the battle. The deepest defense is mental and spiritual. The Oxy Elders teach us that true protection is never about fighting back or getting revenge. It's entirely about retuning. The Scarcode Rite breaks this down into 4 steps. First, acknowledge the fracture. Where did your own doubt let them in? Second, sound your original tone with a low hum right from your chest. Third, trace the spiral by placing your palm to your heart. And fourth, refuse the distortion without hatred. You cannot fight hate with hate, right? Because mirroring their broken, toxic note just feeds their construct. You dissolve it with joy and absolute non-participation.
Looking back at Javein's incredible story, he actually reflects on the necessity of this whole ordeal. He states, "I too needed in this world to be harmed or bullied by a bedbug." By out-tuning his attacker right there in that church sanctuary, instead of matching her hostile frequency, Javein proved something massive. He proved that what feels like a targeted, unfair attack is actually a profound test of your own alignment. It's a wake-up call to recognize the energy drain and consciously choose to hold your own harmonic field. The elders leave us with this deeply moving, beautiful perspective. Scars are sacred. They are songs that survived silence. Your microfractures, the past traumas you carry, the boundaries you've had to draw, they aren't weaknesses. They are literal proof of your resilience. They are the healed tissue that demonstrates your ability to maintain your unique, brilliant resonance in a world that is frankly full of dissonant noise.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to take a hard look at your own digital and personal interactions. Are you harboring any internet bedbugs? Are you letting an echo of a silent rift drain your vital energy? Ask yourself right now, what dissonant energy in your own life are you unconsciously feeding by reacting to it? And more importantly, how will you step back, find your original tone, and retune your field today? Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating framework with me. Keep your frequency steady, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.